Dude, I'm gonna have a fucking rage seizure. This is the day I die. I felt sorry for this guy. I saw myself in him and felt sad.
Well, my name is Darth Microtransaction. My real name's Casey.
So I found a gacha game YouTuber called Darth Microtransaction. He has something like 70,000 subscribers.
If you're wondering, I'm 30 years old. I've been doing full-time
Same age as
YouTube
me.
about 2 years.
This could be me.
And I just did my taxes. Now, I know, looking back, I knew I had spent a lot of money on mobile games. I didn't know how much money I had spent on mobile games, but I had a rough idea.
Like, there's sign number one that something's up with these things. That's what happens with gamblers, right? I decided to look at gacha YouTube and just instantly hear people are spending money and they lose track of how much money they're spending.
And that rough idea was way off what I actually... For a long time, I
simply grab my forehead wrinkles.
Consider an addictive personality. I mean, this can go back to when I was a kid even. At 7 years old, I wanted a motorcycle more than anything in my entire life. I bought a dirt bike and I rode that dirt bike for years, and then I got went from an 80 to a 125 and was super addicted into motorcycles. I'm
not a clinical psychologist, okay? But I am an autist, and as an autist, I've got to say I'm getting autism vibes. The hyper-focus, the special interest.
I have always been, DM really likes one thing,
yep,
super into it, and that's who I am. That's what I do for now. I mean, RuneScape was this for me for 20 years. When RuneScape came out in 2001, I spent every waking hour I could playing that game.
Like, this feels like me if I went down a different path. This feels like me if I got sucked into the vortex of microtransactions and gacha.
What I want to do is hopefully, while I tell my story and let you guys know not only why I spent this amount of money, but the reasons behind it, and the problems with doing this type of thing. It's really more for you guys to look at it, and if you see even a small reflection from me of yourself,
yeah, I do, and I don't like it, and it's scary,
then maybe it will give you pause next time you decide to click to spend $100. Now, I've never ever been a fan of videos where people sit there and they tell you what to do. Like, I hate self-help videos.
I'm 100% on board with, I agree, especially when it's someone who's like, what do you do all day? Oh, you're fucking rich from telling people how to live their life effectively. You have no pressures. No shit, you can spend 2 hours at the gym every day. And just be rich and have no pressures. But yeah, I think he's probably not going to tell you, don't do this. But yeah, I'm 100% on board with simply do not spend $36,000 on a mobile game. This is advice. This is life. This is financial advice. I'm willing to be held liable for this. Do not spend $36,000 on Genshin Impact.
Now, as anyone who has ever done drugs will tell you, you spend all of your time chasing your first high. And this is true essentially in gaming as well. I'm always chasing the original feeling of falling in love with my first video game, like Super Metroid, for instance, thinking like that was the coolest game I've ever seen. Or
see what I mean about addict language? He's saying he's not doing this video to like roast himself or paint him as an addict, but it's very apparent. And I've watched a bunch of his other videos. I'm not just basing it on this. It's very apparent that he the way he is, and which is very similar to me, is vulnerable. And he's describing chasing the experience, which a lot of people do with, I remember the first time I played XYZ game, I want that experience again. And now it's applied to microtransactions, gambling.
And it's much the same way in gacha games. The first time you hit a really big jackpot, you're always going to chase that high. I mean...
Yep. And this is an idea I regret not including in my video, because I figured it was obvious enough, but there are people trying to defend it in various ways without having any consideration for the addictive element, and for the fact that, look, you can say, just have self-control as much as you want, even if you're like, well, get fucked then, you didn't have self-control. Guess what? These people being preyed upon make these things a success, and then it's going to affect you. So even if you don't give a fuck about vulnerable people, guess what? It's bad for you as well.
When you spend $100 in a gacha game and you pull a really big character, I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, it's the dopamine endorphins are a legitimate actual high. And you actually feel this way from gambling, which is why gambling is such an enormous industry. If you didn't know, Raid Shadow Legends' parent company, Aristocrat Leisure, is a company that makes gambling machines. They literally make slot machines and gambling machines and sell them to casinos. That's their business.
Absolutely you just got raid pilled.
And there's nothing wrong. Like, I don't actually have legal problems or moral problems with gambling. I actually don't think I've done anything morally wrong with spending $36,000.
No, you haven't. I agree with that.
Because that's my point of view. I'm a nihilist. I don't actually...
Nihilist! Okay, that's not what I expected. I didn't expect the argument to be, this is fine because I'm a nihilist. Holy, this is just depressing. This is just fucking blackpilled. Blackpilled gacha nihilist gamers. Holy fuck.
For me, I've never had moral qualms about the decisions I've made in my life because I never really cared, is the way I...
What the fuck? This feels like post hoc rationalization, if we want to be posh about it. This is a guy who's addicted to something in a pit explaining why he's not bothered by it. Seems like a really good, nice guy, by the way. And I mean, I'm not saying we need to save this guy. He's the same age as me. He's 30 fucking years old. Of course, all that. But he's put all this out there. I'm watching it and it's sad.
Somehow it all worked out for me. I mean, at least for right now, I got to do what I love, which is playing video games. And I got to do what else I love, which is chase dopamine. I somehow make a living literally with the things that are the problem in my, in my personality or whatever you want to call it. Like I'm making a living being an annoying addict. I'm able to survive and enjoy my life because enough of you guys out there are willing to, support it by literally just watching. I mean,
that makes me feel I suddenly feel really bad about watching this now. I suddenly feel bad.
But to get back to the original point, $36,000 on mobile games I'm reflecting on.
Dude, I'm gonna cry.
Would I take back the $36,000? Yeah, absolutely. Much like chasing your first high, everyone consecutively gets worse. So you have to spend more in order to get the same feeling.
What I'm imagining in my head now is you're someone who works on one of these games. Do you think you could watch this video and not feel like an absolute piece of shit? Could you watch this video and not think, I'm a bad person? Of course, personal responsibility, right? But I don't think we would accept a practice that exploits someone's physical vulnerabilities. I don't think the same people saying just be responsible would accept it if there was a fucking thing where you can go in and have fun, but if you go in and surprise, you're not physically fit enough to get out of the goo trap that sticks up to you, you get fucking bear trapped, and if you're not strong enough to get out of the bear trap with your physical strength, you have to pay money. I don't think we'd accept that, but if it's mental, we do. I realized as I was saying it that does sound fucking sick. It's hardcore Nickelodeon. The Nickelodeon aggro crag. Never mind. I think I defeated my...
If you want to be logical about chasing the fun, consistently try different games. Okay, go from one game to another game.
If one gambling outlet isn't giving you enough of a buzz, try them all. Bro, that is not good advice for an addictive personality. Oh. Bro, don't just do heroin. Dude, if you just do heroin, chasing the high is going to mean you have to do more and more heroin. Just do all of the... Just do all the Class A drugs. That's the logical thinking man's choice. That's why all the slot machines have all different designs and different flashing lights. Yeah. Hey man, if things aren't going well for you on one slot machine, you got a little win and it felt great seeing those lights go off, and now you're trying to get a bigger hit on that machine, just go to the next one. You'll see a different light display. That's fucked.
spend $50 in one, $50 in another, and that is always better than spending hundreds and hundreds on one, because the diminishing returns are going to be crazy for your dopamine. You're not, as you're more and more of a veteran of the game, you need more and more in-game, or it needs to get better and better. And you can see this in really high-end tier Raid Shadow Legends players.
I was talking about this on Twitter, but it's like watching someone talking about doing drugs. And I mean, to some degree, he recognizes that it is. It's a chemical in your brain. But this is like someone telling you the best way to do heroin or something. This is just soul-crushing. My fucking advice, guess what? There are games like PoE. There are games like Hot Wheels Unleashed, right? Hot Wheels Unleashed, for example, it has loot boxes. It has loot boxes, and they do the, whoa, they shake, and then they go gold, and they burst, and a sick fucking mega car comes out. You cannot spend money. The only thing you can spend money on in Hot Wheels Unleashed is components to create your own tracks with, and they release sets of cars where you pay money and you get those cars. No randomness involved whatsoever. Hey, here's our set of Street Fighter cars. Do you want them? Pay money, or play the game to get the in-game coins and open the loot boxes that have a different pool of cars. You cannot pay for anything that involves random chance. The stuff with random chance is free, which is fun. If you're someone who likes the random stuff and the chances, it's fun. Just like Path of Exile, it has, you know, everyone shit on EA or whatever for their surprise mechanics comment, which is of course bullshit when it comes to gambling and loot boxes and stuff. But in a game where you're not paying, surprise mechanics is a thing. Getting that hit when it's not preying on your wallet and trying to ruin your fucking life for their profit, actually enjoyable to people.
I didn't realize I spent $8,000 in Exos Heroes, and I made maybe $2,000 back off YouTube. The amount of audience that I would have to have of super in-game wells to support super in-game welling is ridiculous. I would have.
Yes, but there is one thing I'll say about this. You can look at gacha game streamers, and what he's talking about is you would need a large audience to support that. You'd need an audience of people willing to throw money at you. One of the evil things that scares me as someone with a very modest, small Twitch audience is doing that shit and gambling gets you an audience of whales. It's beneficial. Like he's described about how he's been able to turn this into his YouTube channel and his thing online. That is a very, very tempting vortex for someone who wants to do stuff online as an entertainer or content creator or whatever you call it. You can indulge in your addictive tendencies and be absolutely rewarded for it. That is spooky. That scares me, man. Yeah, I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. I play TCGs. Well, I play one TCG, Flesh and Blood. At most, I'll ever buy like a couple packs or like the little buy individual cards I want for like 15 cents or whatever. I have to be very strict on myself. If I'm going to play a game that has gacha, I do not touch the gacha. You know what would end my fucking life? Imagine if I'd done my little couple hours playing Diablo Immortal, and I rolled my monthly crest and I got a 5-star. And I put that in my title and a bunch of people came in and were like, here, let's see if you get another one. That's my life over. That's my life done.
I am having more dopamine, fun, endorphins now, like literally gambling it on cryptocurrency than I ever would in the games, because
there's your slippery slope from gacha games argument. The shit where I can't get money back. You go higher and higher throwing stuff into it, right? Oh, I don't get a buzz anymore. Let's go on to crypto or stonks. How long until this guy's on slot machines?
You need to look at that and be able to counterbalance and pull yourself outside of yourself to actually realize, am I getting the dopamine and endorphins back that's worth it for the money? And I'm saying that instead of the value of the games, because games have exactly zero value. Any money you spent is already gone when it goes into the game, and that game will be shut down at some point, and you will lose 100% of your investment. It's just gone. It will literally be
He's talking about it in terms of purchasing chemicals that make you feel good. This is drug addict stuff.
deleted out of the
This
world.
this is sickening. This is who the biggest things the new generations of games are targeting. This is sad as fuck.
I can't argue, make sure you get the right ones, because there is no right one. Instead, what I have to argue is make sure the level of enjoyability, dopamine, whatever it is you're getting out of it, is to the level where you think that's worth the money. Because what you...
I'm going to say no, this is terrible advice, because you get hooked. If everyone gives it a shot, there's some percentage of people who, once they are hooked, that calculation becomes warped because of desperation to get that feeling again. I'll skip through this as much as I can. He has a video that is, how much money does my 43,000 subscriber YouTube channel make?
YouTubers make more money than just off their ad space. Such things as sponsors, affiliate programs, things of that nature, okay?
Oh, I wonder how much he makes off of affiliate links. I wonder how much he makes off of getting other people hooked. That's another wrinkle.
Well, you say, DM, I've seen you spend more than $2,000 every single month on video games. So how do you survive? Well, that's true, I do. And the way I do survive is you got to take sponsors, basically. The most notable sponsor you've seen on this channel will be Dragon Champions. I have it plugged on the top of like every single video. And then I have my BlueStacks deal. These are really the only two that I have consistently accepted. Reason being, Dragon Champions is actually a really good affiliate program where based upon your activity in the game, I will be getting paid, okay? So if you download the game and you're actually playing the game, you continue playing the game for long periods of time, I'm continually getting paid out.
Your addiction is his passive income. After everything he talked about, your addiction to this is his passive income. So he's talked about the impact it can have on you, and he's trying to tell you in that one video, be careful. It sucks you in with your addiction, blah, blah, blah. Balance whether the dopamine's worth your money, which sounds like discussing purity of meth or something. Having heard that, what was it called? Dragon Champions is half of his income. How does he present this game? From a month ago. Here's his review of the game he makes half of his income from a month ago with 1.2k views. Yeah, my feeling sorry for him is absolutely fucking disappearing. From 2 years ago, is Dragon Champions worth downloading? Pros and cons. Oh, fuck you! Dragon Champions is a generous gacha, worth a download. It's so generous. Yeah, fuck this guy now. That is fucked. And of course, we're getting all the gacha ads.
I am very excited today to tell you guys about a game that is not only a good game, but it's a non-greedy game. And it's a
oh my fucking god! What the fuck? I can't fucking believe this. Describing an addictive gambling vortex as non-greedy to suck in your fucking addict viewers to something that makes up half your monthly income. I actually feel sick. I feel like I have a fight or flight reaction right now. My adrenaline is pumping. I feel like someone just threatened me with a fucking knife. Jesus Christ. Dude, I'm gonna have a fucking rage seizure. This is the day I die. I felt sorry for this guy. I saw myself in him and felt sad. This is evil mirror world me. This is the me who took that Raid Shadow Legends offer I got. This is me if I responded to that fucking Raid Shadow Legends email.